A widow, tired and hungry, carrying firewood under the burning sun. She thinks her day will end like any other until she sees something on the path that makes her heart freeze. A man collapsed in the dust, clutching a baby to his chest. Who was he? Where did the child come from? And what secret lay hidden in the small necklace he pressed into her palm before his strength failed? Life had not been gentle with her. Her husband was gone, leaving her to raise 2 children alone. Each morning before sunrise, she walked barefoot into the forest to gather firewood. It was her only way to trade for grain, her only way to keep her children alive. Beneath the shade of a great baobab tree lay a man collapsed in the dust. His chest rose and fell with shallow breaths. His clothes were torn, his face streaked with sweat. But it was not his condition alone that made Amara stop. In his trembling arms, a baby cried softly, its tiny voice cutting through the stillness like a blade. Fear gripped Amara. The elders always warned about forest traps. What if this was a trick by bandits? She almost turned back. Yet her gaze fell on the baby's trembling lips, the helpless fists curling against its father's chest. Something deep within her would not allow her to walk away. Amara knelt, her heart pounding. She touched the man's forehead. It burned with fever. "Brother, who are you? Where is your family?" The man's lips moved, but no words came. Instead, with trembling fingers, he pulled a beaded necklace from his neck and pressed it into her palm. A single tear rolled down his cheek before his strength failed. The baby wailed louder. Amara's thoughts twisted like storm winds. Her children were waiting at home. The firewood on her head meant their next meal. If she stayed, they would go hungry. If she left, this man and child would surely perish. Her hands trembled. Her back already ached from carrying her bundle. Yet she dropped the firewood onto the ground, lifted the crying baby against her chest, and heaved the limp body of the man onto her shoulders. Step after step, her legs nearly buckling, she staggered down the path toward her home. When she arrived, her children gasped, "Mama, who are they?" Amara hushed them, laying the man on a mat, feeding him drops of water, and rocking the child until it slept. That night, while her children dreamed, she sat awake, guarding a stranger. For days she cared for him. She boiled herbs, wiped the sweat from his brow, and prayed over him. Slowly his strength returned, and his voice grew steady enough to tell his tale. His name was Kofi. He came from a village far away, a place burned by raiders. His wife had been taken, his people scattered, and all he had left was his infant son. He had walked for days without food, guided only by desperation, until his body failed him beneath the baobab tree. When he finished, silence filled the hut. Amara realized she had not saved a man by chance. She had been chosen by fate to carry a story bigger than her own. From that day, Kofi and his son became part of Amara's household. Though she had little, she shared her food and her space. Her children treated the baby as their brother, and their laughter brought warmth back to the widow's weary home. Some villagers whispered that Amara was foolish. "How can she feed more mouths when she barely feeds her own?" they mocked. But others said the ancestors had seen her heart. And indeed, strange blessings began to bloom. Her fields, once dry, grew plentiful. Her granary filled. Her children's health flourished. And every night, when the moon was full, the beaded necklace Kofi had given her glowed faintly, as though alive with spirit.
Kofi called Amara his sister, his son called her mother, and together their families grew as one. The wound of loss healed with the bond of compassion. Years later, the elder said the baobab tree still carried their story. When the wind passed through its branches, it whispered with the voices of the past, the cry of a baby, the breath of a man, and the choice of a widow who laid down her firewood to carry strangers instead. And so I leave you with this. If you were Amara, standing alone on that forest path, with your children waiting at home and hunger pressing at your door, would you have stopped, or would you have walked away? Because sometimes the choice we make in one moment is the voice that echoes through generations.